Hi everybody. Today I am playing with some transparency transfers. I'm going to do one on a piece of paper that I had from my sketchbook, and I'll do another one in my art journal. And this is a new technique for me, so come on along and we'll see where it goes. Maybe nowhere, and maybe it will be fabulous. Wait and see. Sally here. I have been watching a multitude of image transfer videos, trying to find one that I wanted to try. I don't want to do a transfer where you have to put it down and then it's on paper and then you have to rub the paper off the back. It makes a huge mess. I don't have the patience. So I found one, Tobias Reef, I believe is his name. He has a YouTube channel, and he did the image transfer using the Inkjet transfer sheets, or transparency sheet rather. So I went on Pixabay and I found each one of these 4 images and just kind of put them together in Photoshop. I could cut each one of these apart if I wanted to. I could print them out separately. You know, there's a multitude of ways to do it. This one did smear a little bit. I put it on the paper upside down, ink side down, and I think you can tell, especially like with the moth, I smeared it a little bit. But I just wanted to mention before I start this, things to keep in mind. When I printed this one first, and I forgot to flip this image and the clock, because when I put the ink side down, which will be this way, that's going to be backwards, which is, I mean, it's not a real big deal, but if it's writing that you want to preserve or you want to be able to read, this clock now is backwards. So keep that in mind. The other thing is I had my printer set on color instead of black and white, and these images obviously are black and white. And I don't know if you can tell, but I have a little bit of red and blue on the edges of some of this, which is also not a big deal, but if you want your stark black and white, when I printed this one, I did it with just black and white. I still have some blue, so I don't, if maybe it's just inherent in your printer ink or how your printer prints. My printer is an Epson EcoTank. It's pigment ink, or dye ink, I believe. I don't have a setting specific to transparency film, so I printed it on the setting for glossy paper, like photo paper. I don't know if it would have made a difference if I had printed it just for plain printer paper. I don't know. I did what I thought would be the best bet. Again, like I said, you can see where I smeared this a little bit. This is just an experiment. I want to see if it will work for me. It worked for him. He did an image probably about this size. I may be really overshooting my abilities here by trying to do a whole sheet, but you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And it's just a couple pieces of transparency film. What I used was computer graphics. It's clear film for Inkjet. It's a little bit pricey. These were the last 2 sheets I had. It only came 6 sheets to a package. I can't tell you what I paid for it. I've had it for a really long time. But I'm sure there are other Inkjet transparency films. I don't know why any other brand wouldn't work. I'm sure it would. I've seen people even use like the divider sheets for in a notebook. You know, the transparent plastic film sheets. So anyways, he used Inkjet transparency sheets, so that's, and I had to, so that's why I used those. So the process basically is to put gel medium On the paper that you want to transfer to, lay the transparency ink side down and then burnish it really well but lightly. Wait about 5 minutes, do it again, wait about 5 minutes. This is his process, then do it again. Now I did watch a couple of other ones where they basically burnished it for, you know, a few minutes and picked up the transparency film and the image was there. So how many times to do it, how much, you know, what the timing is, I guess is just trial and error, I suppose. So since this is a trial and error thing, I'm going to try it with the one that I did wrong first. And I just have this page out of my sketchbook that I just smeared some homemade avocado ink onto. So I think I'm going to try it on that first. We'll save this one, and if it works, I'm going to do it in my journal. So let's see what happens. He said the trick is to not put too much gel on. It should be a kind of a medium, even layer. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is, I guess this is the critical part, and none of the videos that I watched, I mean, they can't tell you in a video or show you. I mean, they can try to show you. It was just like a medium, even layer. Not too thick, because if it's too thick, when you burnish your image, the ink may smear and run. I think that's probably a good amount. I'm going to pick it up and see if I can tell if I'm missing any spots. It looks okay to me. So here we go. Once I get it down, I really don't want to move it. This isn't a real heavy paper either, so it's, yeah, see, it's, I'm probably already pushing too hard. You can see where it's smearing out. Now I printed these out, oh, probably a good hour and a half to 2 hours ago. Well, he just went lightly with his finger, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to stop then and let it sit for 5 minutes, which is what Gary on Tobias Reef channel did. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to burnish it again, just like I just did with my fingers. And probably going to repeat that process a couple more times. And then I'll be back and we'll do the reveal. Okay, I came back the second time and used the top of this jar. It's nice and flat with no ridge or anything in the top, and just used it kind of as a barren and just pressed very lightly. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on this at all, and just went over everything. So I am going to start peeling, and I'm taking this, if you can see here, how I'm folding this way back and taking it off at an angle. Oh, it's blue. Interesting, there's still a lot of ink on here. Now, when the video that I watched, there was no ink left, and you see the ink that's left is red. That's interesting. So does that mean that my black is made up of blue and red? That's the cyan. Oh, this is the one that I printed with the color. That's right. So maybe that's why. Not great. Not terrible, but not great. It's not real clear. You can see there's a lot left on there. I don't know if I could go again and get a red one. Not that I want one, but that's interesting. Alright, so let's put that aside. I'm trying to keep this piece of cardboard on top of this white area of my glass mat. Just really always has a glare, so that's why I have that there. Alright, so we will let this dry. Interesting. Not at all what I was hoping to get. But see, if I don't do this, then you won't see the mistakes I make, and then maybe you won't make the same mistake. I'm guessing this happened for two reasons. One, it may be the type of ink that's in the Echo printer is not going to work well with this technique, or two, it's because the color-wise is because I printed this with the color setting instead of the black and white setting. So I'm going to go ahead and gesso a page in my journal, and then once that's really good and dry, I will be back and we'll try this same technique with the other transparency that I printed the right way around and with the black setting, and see if that makes any difference whatsoever. This is going to go in my pile of collage papers. So I'll be back. Okay, I covered this page in my journal with clear gesso and dried it, and now I'm going to put down some quinacridone nickel azo gold high flow acrylic that I have over my hands because it was a new bottle and I struggled to get the little seal open. Anyway, let me rinse this brush. I'm just going to make it all juicy. And then I thought, as long as I have this transparency sheet that didn't work, I'm going to use the clean side of it, the side that didn't have the ink on it, to just kind of smush that. See if I can't get some kind of a cool pattern. I just want something behind this transfer, so it's not just clear paper, white paper, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So just move that paint around a little bit. Make a mess, why not? I might as well go over here because it's already partially over there. And that'll be for something else another day. Alright. Then I'm going to dry this, and I might put another color on top. Okay, I dried the quinacridone nickel azo gold, and then I watered down some Titan Green Pale, also a fluid acrylic, and basically just randomly put that over the top. I dried it really good with my heat tool. So I think we're ready to try this again, and I think I want to start with a dry brush. Let's see, what do I have? Use this one. Whoops. Flyer. I'll use this one and hope I don't get Brussels. It's a Lang nickel. It should be okay. Okay, so this one goes down. It's got to be that way, right? Oh, watch me put it down the wrong way. I'm not going to press as hard right in the beginning because that's when I smeared it last time. It's running already though. Okay, so that makes me believe that it's my printer ink that is just not going to be the best. I need some more stuff under there. Not going to be the best for this technique, I think. No, that's probably too much. Well, live and learn, people. If you have an Echo printer, an Epson Echo printer, just keep in mind that it just might not work. Or any other printer with maybe the, I'm pretty sure this is pigment ink, or this is dye-based ink, not pigment ink. So being dye-based, it's going to automatically have more of a tendency to run. But I thought once it was dry, there's not enough under there either. I thought once it was dry, it would be okay, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it was dry. I didn't try to smear my finger across it or anything, so maybe it was still wet. Maybe I do need to wait overnight. I mean, these are all just questions that if I really, really, really wanted this technique to work, maybe I would buy some more transparency film and vary the time that I let it sit to dry, vary the paper that I put it on. But you know what? This is enough for me. It's either going to work well and I'm going to like it, or it's not, and I'm going to move on to something else. Alright, I'm going to let this sit. I think maybe I'll use this at this point. And like I said, this jar is quite heavy. That's at least a pound, if not more. So I'm not pressing down at all. I'm just running this across here and just letting the weight of the jar kind of work for me. But it's a little more even pressure than just with my finger. Not that that's really going to make any difference, but you never know. Alright, we're going to let it sit. I mean, even if it turns out like that, I will be satisfied because I like it as it is. I hope it comes out with the darkness that I wanted, though. I wasn't crazy about this cyan color. I wonder, it's going to be blue again. I can tell it's already just blue. So, mark this down as a fail. I'm still pretty convinced that it's the ink. I might just Google that. I might even just email Epson and ask them, you know, is there just a lot of blue in their black ink? That could totally be it. This might work better with a laser print. I'm not going to go to, you know, Kinko's or somewhere and get a laser print. I don't care that much. I would like to know why this is blue, though. But, you know, black does have all the colors. That's what black is made of, all the colors. But why just the blue is transferring is kind of a mystery. I don't know. I probably should just pull it off because I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to get is blue. Huh. Alright, you know what? No, I'm going to let it, maybe more will transfer if I let it sit on here for a long time. Maybe even if it just dries on here. So, I'm just going to let it sit, maybe till tomorrow. I mean, why not, right? Well, I have nothing to lose. So, I'm going to set this aside. And I told you in one of my previous videos that I was going to play with this Simon Hurley stamping foam and this woodware stamp set. Remember, if you didn't watch my last video, I liked this one so much, evidently I bought two and didn't realize it. So I'm going to give this one away. So we'll put the clean one aside. It's still in the package and everything. This one I just have on one of my Tim Holtz stamp holder thingies. Let me clean up this stuff I have here and then we'll get into this one. Okay, since I already had this page with a bit of a background color, I thought, well, why not? I'll just leave this open and go over here. Okay, so I have a piece of this stamping foam, And what you do is, oh, I just made a rectangle here because what I realized is the stamping foam is not big enough to completely pick up the image of this stamp. So I'm going to do the background with the stamping foam, and then I'll stamp that inside of there. So I wanted to mark that off so I didn't go in there. So you want to heat the foam and then immediately press it onto your stamp. In this case, I just want to pick up this line pattern, and you can impress anything into this. So I'm just going to use my scoreboard to get all these vertical lines. So I'm going to heat this up. 10 or 15 seconds is what it takes to heat this. I'm not counting, so I'm just going to hope that I am heating it long enough. And then immediately press it. Excuse my head, I'm sure it's in the shot, but I'm leaning real hard on this. I don't know if you can see the ridges. So then I will just take my ink pad and ink this up. And I think I'm going to get, you see where it's uneven? I think I'm going to get some unevenness, but it's okay. And I'm using VersaFine ink. I prefer the archival ink, but my archival ink pad is upstairs and I'm not, so I'm using this one instead. Move that clip for a minute. Way. Just try and get that there. Good enough. Alright, then if you have ink that doesn't normally stain your stamps, it shouldn't stain the foam, and we should be able to wipe it off. Now I don't know if the VersaFine normally stains stamps because I don't usually use it. And I mean, I don't really care. The nice thing about these foams, though, are that they're a nice neutral gray, so you can see, like if you're mixing colors on them, you can see really well if you're getting the colors that you want because the gray is neutral. And alright, so we got a little bit of staining, but like I said, I don't mind it. For card makers, I think you might like it. It's like a perfect size to go into a normal size card and still have a nice border around it. So that's that, and then you get the ridges out by just heating it again. And then I can use it over and over and over for whatever I want. And I'm sure if you Google Simon Hurley, he'll have videos that will probably give more tips and techniques. Yep, that's flat. That's flat again. I don't know if you can tell because it's stained with ridges, but whatever, it's flat, trust me. So, that's that. Let me dry this ink. Scoreboard away. This is bugging me. Yeah, it's not getting any blacker. I'm just taking it off. I think that's all I'm going to get for that. So, here, I'll show you. See, it's blue again. Alright, let's put this typewriter on here. It's so cute, right? See if we get the amount of detail. I like to use this for stamping because it's so big and it's easy to manipulate into the, so your stamp is in the right place when you do it into a journal. Oh yes, that's very cute. I like it, and I hope one of you guys will like it too. So if you would like to win the stamp set, here, let me, where is it? I'll find it again. I can show you again. Oh, it's right here. It has a message to wish you a happy birthday, thinking of you today and every day. Admit it, life would be boring without me, right? Wouldn't it? You know you love to watch me make mistakes. You are just the right type. Then this says hello and love, so you can put any of those into the little spot where the paper is in the typewriter, or you can write your own message. So yeah, that is Woodware Craft Collection Clear Stamp Set, designed by Francois Reed, called Vintage Typewriter. So if you would like it, like this video, leave me a comment below and tell me what you liked about the video. Even if you just say, I love to watch you make mistakes. It's not a mistake. It was an experiment that didn't work. So, you know, now we know, right? Yeah, and then if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button, because you have to be a subscriber in order to win. And let's see, today is, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. I will come back, let me think here. Today's Wednesday. How about on Monday? Whatever, I don't know what the date is on Monday, but the Monday after St. Patrick's Day, I will come back and do a short video, and we'll give it away. So anyway, that's what we got for that. Not pretty at all. This, though, it was fun to play with this foam. I will play with that some more. And you know what? I have a whole package. 4 of these foams came in a package. I'm going to throw one of these in with that extra stamp set. So that's what you'll be getting, the stamps and one of these foams to play with. How about that? Does that make up for watching all this mess? I hope so. Anyways, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for watching to the end, because if you didn't watch to the end, you would have missed out on getting in on this giveaway. And in the meantime, go make some art. Bye!